What is good, Eagles Nation? Howie Roseman is cooking up something crazy right now, and if you bleed green, you need to hear this. We got massive offensive line news, a huge hole in our secondary that just opened up, and a brand new weapon for our offense that nobody saw coming. Hit that subscribe button right now because the Birds are making moves that could change everything this season. Let's get right into it. Marco Bell is officially on the Philadelphia Eagles radar, and Howie Roseman just scheduled a pre-draft visit with this absolute monster of an offensive tackle out of the University of Miami. When we talk about building the trenches, this is exactly the kind of move casual fans do not understand but absolutely wins championships in this league. This kid is gigantic, bringing the exact type of massive physical frame and insanely long arms that Jeff Stoutland dreams of molding into an unstoppable force for our offensive line. We already know that the Eagles' entire identity is built on dominating the line of scrimmage, pushing people around, and imposing our will in the trenches, so bringing in a prospect with this kind of raw, unteachable size makes perfect sense for the long-term vision of this franchise. And here is the scary part for the rest of the league. When Stoutland gets his hands on a raw prospect with this level of physical dominance, they usually turn into absolute nightmares for opposing edge rushers. The front office continues its relentless search for offensive line depth because you can never have enough big bodies protecting the quarterback and paving the way for the run game, especially in the grueling NFC East. Now think about this for a second. The fact that they are bringing him into the NovaCare complex for a top 30 pre-draft visit shows genuine, serious interest in making him a cornerstone of the future. The physical traits he possesses are incredibly rare, and finding guys with that specific combination of massive size and condor-like wingspan is exactly what our scouting department prioritizes year in and year out. But what the Eagles are planning to do next on the other side of the football, especially in the secondary where we just lost a major piece of our defensive identity, is where things get really interesting and honestly a little bit concerning for our defense. If you trust Howie Roseman to keep building the most dominant offensive line in football, smash that like button and drop a Go Birds in the comments right now. Reed Blankenship is leaving the Philadelphia Eagles, and his departure has officially forced the front office to scramble for cheap free agent options at the safety position to fill a massive void in our defensive secondary. Losing a guy who brought so much grit and reliable tackling to our defensive backfield is a tough pill to swallow for this fan base. But the reality of the NFL salary cap means Howie Roseman now has to dig deep into the bargain bin to find a suitable replacement who can step in and produce immediately. And inside the building, this sudden opening has raised serious concerns about our depth, which is exactly why veteran Xavier Woods is now emerging as a highly solid and incredibly affordable alternative to patch up this defense. Now think about this for a minute. We need guys who can read the quarterback, communicate effectively pre-snap, and not blow coverages when the game is on the line. And Woods brings that essential veteran presence without breaking the bank. The front office is meticulously analyzing the market because we absolutely cannot afford to go into the season with a glaring weakness at safety, especially with the elite receivers we have to face in our division. But it gets worse if we do not find the right fit, because a weak link in the secondary can unravel an entire defensive game plan no matter how good our pass rush is up front. Bringing in a seasoned veteran like Woods on a cost-effective deal is exactly the kind of savvy roster management that keeps championship windows open while navigating the harsh financial realities of building a complete 53-man roster. We need stability back there, and while it hurts to see a fan favorite walk out the door, the business of football waits for absolutely nobody. But what Howie just did to reinforce our offense and give us another dangerous weapon in the passing game is going to make you forget all about our defensive issues for a second. Are you worried about our safety position right now? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I read every single one of them. Elijah Moore has officially signed a one-year contract with the Philadelphia Eagles, and this under-the-radar move is completely designed to massively upgrade the depth of our wide receiver room for the upcoming season. After spending the 2025 campaign catching passes for the Buffalo Bills, this explosive playmaker is coming to Philly, looking for a major bounce-back season to prove he still belongs as a dangerous weapon in this league. This is how dynasties are built in the NFL. You buy low on incredibly talented players who have a chip on their shoulder and put them in a locker room with an elite culture that demands greatness every single day. And here is the scary part for opposing defenses trying to match up with us. When you add a guy with his raw speed, route running ability, and sheer versatility to an offense that already has so much star power, you create absolute matchup nightmares across the board. The front office knew we needed more reliable depth behind our main guys because injuries happen and you need playmakers ready to step up at a moment's notice to keep the chains moving. Now think about the pressure this takes off our top receivers, knowing we have a hungry veteran wideout ready to exploit one-on-one coverage out of the slot or out wide whenever his number is called. It is a brilliant, low-risk and high-reward gamble by Howie Roseman that could easily turn out to be the steal of the offseason if this kid can recapture the magic that made him such an exciting prospect coming out of college. We are surrounding our quarterback with every possible weapon to ensure this offense operates like a well-oiled machine. And bringing in a motivated guy fighting for his football life on a one-year prove-it deal is a recipe for serious production. The bottom line is that our offense just got deeper, faster, and significantly more dangerous, and the rest of the NFC needs to take notice of what is brewing in South Philly right now. Taking a step back to look at the massive picture here, what the Philadelphia Eagles are doing with these three specific moves tells us exactly how Howie Roseman and the front office are approaching this critical season. We are seeing a masterclass in roster manipulation, balancing the need for massive foundational pieces like Markel Bell in the draft with the absolute necessity of plugging defensive holes and finding explosive offensive depth through the veteran free agent market. First of all, prioritizing a colossal offensive tackle prospect proves that the organization is sticking to its core philosophy of building an impenetrable fortress in the trenches, knowing that the physical punishment of a 17-game season requires elite depth on the offensive line. It is the Eagles' way, plain and simple, and drafting massive humans with incredible reach is exactly how you protect your quarterback's blind side for the next decade. On the flip side, losing a reliable presence in the secondary is an undeniably tough blow to the defensive scheme, but targeting a battle-tested veteran like Xavier Woods highlights a clear strategy of relying on experienced, high IQ football players to maintain stability without overspending. You cannot pay everyone top dollar, so finding cheap, effective band-aids in the secondary allows us to allocate major money to premium positions like edge rusher and wide receiver. Speaking of receivers, bringing in a highly motivated weapon on a one-year prove-it deal is the ultimate low-risk gamble that has historically paid off huge for this franchise. When you combine an injection of raw, unteachable size on the offensive line, a calculated and economical patch in the defensive secondary, and a hungry offensive weapon desperate to revive his career, you get a roster that is built to weather the storms of an NFL season. This is the ultimate chess match, and Howie is aggressively moving his pieces across the board to ensure this team has zero glaring weaknesses when the playoffs roll around, proving once again why he is widely considered the best general manager in all of football. At the end of the day, these moves perfectly illustrate why the Philadelphia Eagles remain one of the most aggressively forward-thinking and dangerous franchises in the entire National Football League. We are fortifying the trenches with absolute giants who can protect the franchise, intelligently managing the salary cap by finding veteran steals to patch up our depleted secondary and injecting explosive, highly motivated depth into our wide receiver room. This is not just another draft prospect or a random string of depth signings. This could be the exact formula that brings another parade down Broad Street and solidifies a true dynasty in the city of brotherly love. Every single transaction, no matter how small it might seem to the national media, is a calculated strike designed to keep this championship window wide open for years to come. Now I want to hear from you, the best fans in the world. Are you hyped about this massive offensive line prospect? And do you think our new wide receiver is going to shock the league this year? Drop your hottest takes in the comments below. Make sure you absolutely smash that like button. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a single piece of breaking Eagles news. Fly, Eagles, fly. And I will catch you guys in the next video.